How did you meet your soulmate?
I was buying a house. I was choosing between two, and I needed a person who would assess the technical condition of the house. He came, I found him through an acquaintance, he didn't take any money, he came for coffee, and then the cat wouldn't let him go, so here we are. Sometimes I think he's with me because of the cat.
In the 10th grade, I moved to a new school, and at the beginning of the school year, I forgot my literature textbook. I needed to come up with a plan, but I did not know anyone in the class. I noticed a quiet, nerdy-looking boy with glasses and a tablet with a book on it. I went up to him and said, "Hi, I will sit next to you and you can give me your book. I will buy you a coffee after class." We got married last year, and this year we celebrated our 10th anniversary.
I was a server at a wedding. He was a guest. He asked me to dance when the band played a slow song. I said I couldn't. I was working. He found me after the reception was over.
We were both trying to buy the last bouquet of flowers at the grocery store on Valentine's Day. We were both single and buying them for ourselves. We split the bouquet and went out for dinner instead.
He saw me looking confused at a map and offered to help. He ended up giving me a personal tour for the whole day.
We were both reading the same book on the subway. He saw my copy and said, "Great choice." We started discussing the plot. I missed my stop on purpose.
It was my first time on a train, and my family explained how to get there and where to transfer. In the next row, a young man was staring at me, and I was staring back. When the station I needed to transfer to was announced, I ran out of the train and accidentally lost my earbud. The young man ran after me, returned my earbud, and told me that the train went straight without any transfers. I felt embarrassed and boarded the first train I saw. Then he returned to me and took my phone, because his friend insisted and said, "If you don't, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." We recently got married, and his friend was our witness. I was just playing Genshin Impact and minding my own business in my own world. Suddenly, I received a notification that a player wants to join. I usually ignore such requests, but for some reason that day, I allowed it. The guy came over, we chatted for a bit, and he was very sweet and funny. He helped me complete several difficult tasks that I had been putting off for months. We exchanged contact information. We started texting every day. At first, it was talking about the game, then about music, movies, and life. Our conversations turned into hours-long voice calls and then into video chats. A few months later, he bought a plane ticket and flew to my place for the new year. It was scary and incredibly exciting. But from the very first moment at the airport, I realized that I had made the right decision. 5 years have passed since then. We live together. And yes, we still play Genshin, just to sit on top of the Mondstadt and remember how it all started.
My great-grandmother once told my then-young grandmother, "Remember, daughter, the first man who crosses our threshold today will be your betrothed." Later that day, there was a knock on the door. A confused young man stood on the threshold. He asked, "Sorry to bother you, can't I use your telephone?" This young man was my future grandfather. He came in to make a phone call and he stayed for the rest of his life. This year, they celebrated their golden wedding anniversary, 50 years together. And my grandfather still jokes, "It was the most important phone call of my life. I was calling about work, but I found my destiny."
I spilled my coffee all over his white shirt in the library. Instead of getting mad, he laughed and bought me a new one. We've been together for 10 years now.
We were rivals in a debating club in college, hated each other's guts. One day we had to team up against another university, and we won. Started dating a week later.
I accidentally sent a text to the wrong number. It was supposed to be for my friend about a party. The person texted back, "Wrong number, but the party sounds fun." We texted for weeks before meeting.
She was the barista at my local coffee shop. I went every day for months just to see her. One day, my order was ready before I even said anything. She said, "The usual, right?" That was the opening I needed. I was her waiter. She was on a terrible blind date. I slipped her a note with my number on it that said, "In case you need an escape route." She texted me an hour later.
We met in a video game. We were in the same guild for years, just friends. Then we started voice chatting for 8 hours straight. I flew to Canada to meet him. Now he's my husband.
We sat next to each other on a 14-hour flight. He was nervous about flying, and I talked him through the takeoff. We talked the entire flight and forgot to watch any movies.
Our dogs got into a fight at the dog park. We were both so apologetic. Ended up going for coffee to make up for it. Our dogs are now best friends, too.